And when the season's over, you know, people will vote for a first or second team because she's that good. And I look around and I don't see 5 centers in the country better than her. And that's a credit to how hard she works. You know, I've told our kids on the team, if everybody on our team came to practice every day like Jessica has for 4 years and played as hard as she has, with as much energy and as much concentration, you know, then everybody would be as good as she is. Everyone would improve as much as Jessica has. But that's what makes her so unique. You know, every day for 4 years, she comes to practice with the same energy level, the same intensity level, the same level of focus every single day.
Wow.
And that's unique for a kid.
Well, you said too here, I have, you know, Jess hasn't gotten any attention the whole time she's been here. That's okay. She's incredibly valuable to us right now. I don't know where we'd be without her. I mean, you usually exalt your players after they leave. They usually stink when they're here. And then when they leave, they become like these great players. But it's getting to the point where you can't do that anymore.
No, because we don't have another center right now that I can put in there. If we did, I wouldn't be saying all these nice things about her. But it's like when we had Rebecca and Kara, you know. And I would always make fun of Kara and saying, you know, she's this, she's that, because we had Rebecca. And then when Rebecca played bad, I say how horrible she was because we had Kara. You know, now that, you know, until we get Liz and Will back, then, you know, Jessica's Bill Russell. Well, after those guys come back, she might be Nipsey Russell, but right now she's Bill Russell.
Well, okay, you bring up some of the injuries, and you've had 3 players out now. Liz Sherwood, as a freshman, had her knee scoped several, what was it, a month ago? Or? It
was exactly a month ago on the 15th. She had October 15th. And the doctor said it usually takes about 5 weeks.
Okay.
And the bigger you are, the longer it takes, you know, because you're just not as able to get as much movement, you know, as you would like. But the last couple of days, Liz has been doing some drills, non-contact drills. Friday, she'll do more. Saturday, she'll do more. Sunday, she'll dress and warm up with the team.
Oh, good.
And then by next Monday or Tuesday, you know, we're thinking she's going to be practicing full time, and she's got to get her conditioning and get in shape. But I can't keep a straight face when I'm talking about Liz.
I wondered why you.
Honest to God.
I thought I had something in my teeth.
No, and you'll see. Well, that too. But I'm saying you'll see. I mean, when you see Liz play, you will just crack up and you'll start laughing because this kid has so much fun out on the court playing, and she just like, when she comes on the court, it's like, here I am, and the ball comes in there. And
well, you've said she's got great hands and great feet.
She's unbelievable. I mean, it's going to take her a while, don't get me wrong, but I'll tell you, she's pretty good. But more importantly, she's fun to watch. Diana's bringing the ball down the floor the other day. We're doing this drill at the Civic Center. And Diana crosses her court, and she's got the ball. And we're getting ready to, and there's Liz. She's waiting for the ball. And Diana just stops and cracks up and starts laughing. And we all start laughing. And Liz is laughing because it's just, she's a joy to be around. She really is.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, you brought up Wilnette Crockett. She had that bad ankle sprain where she, tore 2 ligaments or sprained 2 ligaments?
Yeah, sprained. And I asked Jamel one time, you know, when I was walking through the training room, I said, Jamel, how's Will's ankle look? And Jamel said, like it should be in a frying pan with some eggs. I mean, it was about this big, and it looked like you put a roast in there, you know? I mean, I've never seen an ankle that big before. I've not, and she's finally gotten, that's what's taken so long. It's been hard to get all the swelling out. So she's walking now, she's moving around a little bit, and we're thinking probably 2 more weeks for Will.
Okay.
You know.
So, and then now we've got Kiana Robinson, the freshman, who
started practicing full-time yesterday.
Oh, okay. She had this kind of lingering hamstring injury.
Yeah.
So she is on the mend, you think?
Yeah. But you know what? When young players get hurt, it's like traumatic, you know.
Yeah, especially something like a hamstring.
Yeah, those are tough. Those are tough because it's never going to be exactly like it was. I shouldn't say never, but it's going to take a while. Mm-hmm. So whatever little thing you feel in there, immediately you're thinking, oh boy, here it goes again. So those kind of things you got to be careful about.
All right, now we have a lot of questions, and they usually take quite a long time. So, question for Coach: how much practice time is spent concentrating on using the backboard? It must get very frustrating when so many shots are missed during games when the backboard is not used.
Yeah, we're probably one of those teams that shoots a lot in the beginning of the season. I should say, at the beginning of practice. We spend an awful lot of time shooting the ball. And one of the lost arts in shooting is like that 15-foot bank shot. And we spend a lot of time on that. Like, I really harp on that. I love that shot. And shots are missed for a lot of reasons. But, yeah, using the backboard is a lost art, no question about it.
Did you have any tryouts for walk-ons this year? What are the tryouts like? And I noticed at the Super Show there's a female practice player. Did she try out for the team?
That's Natalie. Natalie.
Oh, I wasn't there, so
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, Natalie's one of our managers.
Oh, okay.
Natalie did want to try out. She did come to all the conditioning things, and it just wasn't the right situation for her. I mean, it's, you know, some years it's right, some years it's not. We don't necessarily have tryouts. We just, you know, players just show up and they say they want to do it, and we give them an opportunity, and then we see whether it fits or not. Natalie's super. I mean, she's actually pretty good with the ball. I mean, she does a lot of great things with it, but it just wasn't meant to be for her this year.
Here we go. A question from Don in Pauling, New York. Two opposing players are moving toward each other. The offensive player has or receives the ball. They collide and a foul is called. How is decided whether the foul is a charge on the offense or you're blocking the defense?
Well, you know, that's what came first, the chicken or the egg. No referee, I don't think there's a referee in America that wants to make that call in a crucial situation. Whether it's a block or whether it's a charge is the hardest call there is to make in basketball. And supposedly, your feet have to be set, you can't be moving, and if the offensive player runs into you, that's a charge. But if you're moving and your shoulders are square and you don't create the contact, then it's a charge also. So your feet have to be stationary, you have to be stationary, and it's a charge. You can't be moving. But if you're moving in a certain way and the offense initiates the contact, it's still a charge. You know? If you jump up and you smack the shooter, that's a foul. If you jump up and don't smack them, but create contact in a different way, then that's a charge. So
I'm sitting here getting very confused.
Good. That was the intent. Just to let you know that whenever you're screaming about that's a block, that's a charge, you're both right.
Okay, now we have a couple questions that have come through. Some people I think have even called regarding your new uniforms. Now, one question was why you were wearing the blue ones at home, and you can answer that question.
Why we wore the blue uniforms at home was we don't have a lot of pictures that we want to use in certain publications and things that we want in our blue uniforms. The quality of the pictures that we get on the road is not the same as, you know, Steve Slade does a lot of our photography, and he's fabulous. So the lighting at Gamble is just so good for pictures. So we decided for an exhibition game, let's use our blue uniforms. And we got some great pictures out of it. You saw the cover of, well, the cover of Sports Illustrated just came out yesterday. People should be getting it today. Diana Taurasi's on the cover with Mecca Okafor. And she's got her new blue uniform on, and it looks unbelievable. It looks unbelievable.
The blue ones are great. Now, the white uniform, another question here from Monique in Bristol, brings up a very good point. The silver numbers and the white shirts are hard, they're hard to see.
Are they?
Yeah, and I actually, at the game the other night, the exhibition against that NWBL, we did notice that it is difficult because the contrast just isn't quite as stark, the gray against the navy blue. The gray against the white is a little bit more difficult to see.
Silver.
Silver,
not
sorry.
gray.
Silver.
Yeah, we tried to do something a little bit different. We're to incorporate a little bit of silver into our uniform.
Which I know the football team did that. The football uniforms are very cool.
Yeah, they are cool. And we're trying to decide which way we want to go with that. So this may or may not be something we do next year. But hopefully, because we have everybody back, you already know their numbers, you know? But I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and like this particular woman wrote, she was in section 202.
Yeah.
And it was hard for her to see.
Yeah.
So, you know, a little food for thought.
I know what you're saying. And Well, here's the only thing I could tell you. Whatever you think of our uniforms this year, I think our blue uniforms are the nicest uniforms in the country.
I saw a picture of them. They look very,
okay, they're
cool.
unbelievably good. The uniforms we're going to have next year, no one in America will have anything remotely close to that kind of uniform.
Ooh.
So I promise you that.
Do you care to expound on this?
No.
That's
no.
not fair.
Well,
all right.
The Olympics are next August, correct?
Right.
So next August, turn on the Olympics, and you'll see something that following October and November, you'll see on our team, and we'll be the only team in America wearing it.
All right. All right, real quick, we don't have that much time. What player grew the most as a person as well as an athlete since you've coached at UConn?
What player grew the most?
Present company excluded, of course.
My first pick would be Rita Williams.
I knew you were going to say that.
My first pick would be Rita Williams because Rita came in amid all the. I wish I had $1 for every person that asked me, what's going to happen after Jennifer leaves? You know, and I said Rita Williams. Oh, there's no way. And you know what? Rita's first year as a starter, we were undefeated, and we lost the last game of the year when Shea got hurt. And then her senior year, she was MVP of the Big East tournament after Nikisha got hurt. So I would think Rita Williams. People don't remember Stacey Wetzel, who came in as played 5 minutes as a freshman total, I think, and then senior year was starting in the Big East tournament and scored 22 in our semifinal game.
Wasn't she 11 of 11, I think,
Something
one
like
game,
that.
or 10 of 10?
Players like that, you know, really stand out in my mind. Kara Walters, because nobody recruited her, and she turned out to be the National Player of the Year.
Right.
No, so there's been instances.
The list just goes on and on.
Yeah,
there are a lot of different ways.
We've been lucky. Yeah, we've been lucky. We've had a lot of players like that.
All right, we'd love to continue on because you're so interested.
By the way, we're playing Western Michigan today.
We've got to get going. The game is coming on Western Michigan. Don't forget the website www.cptv.org, and we will see you very soon. Enjoy the game.
It's a banner day at UConn for many reasons. There's an added accolade, something the fans are getting accustomed to at Campbell, and many familiar faces are back. Every Husky starter returns. Are we in stores for another historic campaign? Find out next. For the fourth time in 9 years, UConn begins the season as the defending national champion. This afternoon, we are at Gamble Pavilion in Stores. On opening day, the Broncos of Western Michigan visit #1 ranked Connecticut. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi, along with Megan Pattison, and welcome to another exciting season of UConn basketball here on Connecticut Public Television. We'd also like to welcome our viewers across the country who, for the first time today, have a chance to watch UConn basketball via the internet. 37-1, an NCAA championship. What in the world does UConn do for an encore? Well, Megan, the Huskies have every starter back from a team which won its second straight national title.
Yeah, Bob, and the only difference between last year and this year is that they are expected to win it all this year. Look at the numbers from last year. Nothing really jumps out at you. Everyone really played their role. No one did anything superhuman, except, of course, for the player who is closest to superhuman, and that is Diana Taurasi. She can get you in the lane, use her upper body control to knock down the jumper, and then, of course, we know she can shoot it from just about anywhere on the floor. What's going to be really fun this year, Bob, is to really savor every moment of watching Diana Taurasi, the best player who's ever played.
Now, Western Michigan opened its season on Friday with a loss at the University of Michigan. Last season, the Broncos won the Mid-American Conference Championship and they had the 21st leading scorer in the country.
Yeah, Casey Ross averaged 19 points a game to lead Western Michigan last year. The kid can really score. You can even shoot 90% from the free throw line as well. Now, this kid can score so well, Bob. In 59 games, reached 1,000 points. Huskies will have their hands full.
And for the 76th consecutive time, Gamble Pavilion is sold out. Back with the starting lineups at opening tip after this. Heard of an annual rite of spring. I guess you'd call this an annual rite of November for UConn women's basketball fans. Moments ago, the 4th national championship banner unveiled on the championship wall. Welcome back to Stores in the first ever meeting between UConn and Western Michigan. Here are your starting lineups. Maria Jillian, 3rd in the country in steals a year ago. She'll be in the backcourt with Casey Ross and Carrie Moore up front. Lori Crispin and Kelly Kerber. For UConn, Barbara Turner started all 6 games in the NCAA tournament, and she gets the start on opening day. She's up front with Jessica Moore. The guards are Diana Taurasi, Ann Strother, and Maria Conlon. Ron Stewart, in his 7th season as coach at Western Michigan, last March he guided the Broncos to only their 2nd ever NCAA tournament appearance. Gino Auriemma, in his 19th year as the coach of the Huskies, he won his 500th career game in the NCAA semifinals last April. And Megan Diana Taurasi has a chance to become only the 2nd UConn player ever to be a 3-time first-team Kodak All-American.
Yeah, she'll be joining some pretty elite company in Svetlana Abrasimova.
Look at UConn's brand new uniforms with the trendy gray numerals on the back. Tap controlled by Conlon, and the Huskies with the ball, and Western Michigan starts out man-to-man. Megan, we probably won't see much of that today, though.
No, especially if Jessica Moore gets isolated going to her strong hand in that low post. Very difficult to stop Jessica one-on-one.
Moore already 3rd in UConn history in career field goal shooting. She knocks down 59.9% of her shots, and the Huskies start out in their trademark man-to-man. Taurasi getting the assignment on Rost.
Well, got a pretty good height advantage there. You see her getting active, getting her hands in there, stealing the ball.
Here come the Huskies following the first turnover of the afternoon. Taurasi for 3.
Home crowd loving the first shot of her senior year. A 3, knocking it down.
She had 70 of them last year, 7th most in the Big East Conference. Strother defending Moore on the perimeter. Right side Jillian over Maria Conlon. Rebound in the lane. Strother controls to herself, then gives to Turner.
What a smart save by Strother to find Barbara Turner.
Taurasi to Conlon. Baseline, had it knocked away back to Taurasi. Another 3.
Living up to the billing.
The 235th of Taurasi's career. She's 2nd all-time at UConn. Needs only 45 more to break the school record held by your former teammate, Megan, Wendy Davis.
Yeah. Otherwise known as Silk to her teammates because her J was so smooth.
The one-hander by Lori Crispin getting the Broncos on the board. Western Michigan jumped on top of Michigan 20-3 the other day before eventually losing by 13.
And the physicality of that game, Ron Stewart said, was really the difference in that ball game.
Jessica Moore, shot clock down to 10. Strother up top, puts it on the floor, leaves for Taurasi. She's already got a couple of 3s. Turner to Conlon, shot clock at 2. Taurasi for her 3rd 3. Can't get this one to go, and the rebound last touched by Western Michigan.
Well, that time you saw Strother going in for the offensive rebound. We saw it on the defensive end, crashing the boards. That's something number 43 is going to be doing a lot more this year, and that's crashing both boards.
They find Jessica Moore inside off the inbound, a trademark for UConn.
And just so strong, getting to the basket, the big hop step there, using the right hand.
Jessica Moore with 4 of the Huskies' 10 points, and Taurasi has the other 6. Rost, and runner into a screen to Crispin. Now she's doubled, and Taurasi creates the held ball. Possession arrow aiming toward Western Michigan with 11 left on the shot clock.
Terrific communication that time. You saw the screen on Taurasi, and Barbara Turner left her man, stayed with Rost, and then you'll see Taurasi coming from the right side to double, and the jump ball was called.
Now the shot clock is all the way down to 5. Crispin defended by Moore. Kick out Ross for 3. Back rims it, rebound off the hands of Conlon, and a fresh 30 for the Broncos.
Now see, that time Kerber had inside position, but heads-up play by Maria Conlon to knock it away.
Jillian inbounds baseline. She finds Crispin. Carrie Moore has it. Her pocket picked by Strother. Turnover number 2 for the Broncos. And here comes Western Michigan stealing it right back. There's why Jillian was 3rd in the country in steals.
Yeah, the defensive player of the year in the MAC last conference. You see why. And a little careless passing by the Huskies. Taurasi and Strother just a little too close to one another. Jillian took advantage.
Jillian had 124 steals a year ago, the highest single season total in Western Michigan history, and tied for the most ever in Mid-American Conference history. Jessica Moore back rims a 2, but she gets her own rebound.
Something you didn't see last year. Moore shooting from that far out.
Strother down low, Moore double teamed in our first foul of the afternoon. The reach in on Crispin.
Well, we talked off the top of the show, Bob, how Western Michigan cannot guard Jessica Moore inside one-on-one. That time the double team came. A little too active with the hands, got more on the arm.
Inside, off the inbound to Jessica Moore. 2 inbounds for UConn in the forecourt, 2 easy layups.
Huskies having their way inside Moore, and she's so tough to guard because she's so active and never stops moving.
6 points for Moore, 6 points for Taurasi, 12 for UConn lead. Down low, Crispin tried to feed Kerber, threw it away. That's 3 turnovers for the Broncos.
Huskies very active defensively. That time Jessica Moore was hedging out on the screen in the top of the key and hustled back to her man. Got a hand in there and messed things up for Western Michigan.
Kerber departs, replaced by Kate Versiput, 6'1" sophomore out of Mason, Michigan. She's guarding Barbara Turner. Now Conlon defended by Ross. Taurasi gets a screen, shoots from behind it. Her 3rd 3 of the day.
Now, if you're Western Michigan, you're thinking, all right, Crispin had a hand extended right in Taurasi's face. Didn't do any good. You can't guard it much better than that.
UConn 3 of 4 from 3-point range, 6 of 8 overall. Strother creates another turnover with the reach-in deflection. Turner to the trailer.
That's as pretty as it gets. Barbara Turner knew what she wanted to do with that basketball before the ball even came to her.
It took 4.5 minutes for Diana Taurasi to reach double figures in the very first game of her senior season. It's a big fat 13-point UConn lead as we hit our first timeout. And Megan, it's a shame it's taken Taurasi so long to heat up in the first game of her final season here at UConn as we look at some of the sellout crowd.
I mean, Taurasi on fire early, and we're going to talk a lot about this young lady this entire season, but she just has so many ways to beat you. But it's her mental toughness and her preparation off season which gets her to this point with only 4 minutes into the game. How many points does she have?
I believe she has 11.
Yeah, 11 points in 4 minutes.
And there you see the total, 236. Second most ever at UConn, and that would, barring an injury, it would seem that Wendy Davis record will fall sometime toward the latter portion of the season. Out of the timeout, Versiput, left side. This is a 3 for Carrie Moore.
Yeah, Strother got caught down low defensively. Moore took advantage and drained the open 3.
One of 5 freshmen on this 15-player Western Michigan roster. Turner up top. They leave her alone. She'll take the jumper. Rebound in traffic, and Taurasi gets fouled, and the Huskies will inbound.
Just the all-around player, Taurasi, getting inside position on the offensive glass and got fouled as a result of it.
Now, for the first time when UConn inbounds in the forecourt, they don't get an easy layup. Foul was on Rost, her first and 2 on Western Michigan. The Huskies have yet to commit a foul. Down low, sweet position for Jessica Moore, but great weak side help for the strip.
Well, the 2-3 zone was working that time, and they're doubling in the post. Proved fruitful for Western Michigan.
Second turnover for UConn. Huskies turned it over 22 times in their first exhibition game. On the perimeter, right in and out of the hands of Moore. Good hands by associate head coach Chris Daly. She hasn't lost the touch at all.
CD's always had good hands. Got the new hairdo this year.
Yeah, played on a national championship team at Rutgers in 1982, AIAW championship. One of the co-captains on that team. 5 turnovers for the Broncos in the early going. Taurasi up top. Western Michigan has stayed in the man-to-man, Megan. A little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, you know, they've been alternating varying possessions, 2-3 man. Here they're gonna double more now every time she gets the ball down low. And Ashley Battle coming in off the bench, making them pay for leaving her open.
Her first possession of the season, resulting in 2 points for the reigning Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Came off the bench last year and won the Defensive Player of the Year award.
She just provides such a great spark off the bench for the Huskies.
Quick catch and shoot by Crispin. Taurasi went for the rebound, then saved it to Battle. Second rebound for Taurasi, who among everything else led the Huskies in that category last year. Look at the passing. Strother to Turner to Moore.
You know, Moore, who Gino Auriemma has talked a lot about Jessica and the work that she did, and that this team would not be as good as they are without her. Perhaps one of the most underrated players in the country. But Barbara Turner, what a great passer. Doesn't get enough credit for her passing ability.
Taurasi with her 3rd rebound. Here's Battle on the wing. Lays it up, no good. Taurasi with her 4th rebound. Turner down low to Moore. Lays it up and in.
And that was a perfect pass once again by Barbara Turner, who did have the open shot at the top of the key. A couple black jerseys flying at her, and just lobbed it nicely down to the wide open Jessica Moore.
Moore already in double figures with 10 points. She and Taurasi have scored all but 2 of the Huskies' points. Jillian on the cut, and the UConn will be called for its first foul of the afternoon. Call made by official Jerome Scrine.
Well, early you see the terrific teamwork. And again, Jessica Moore never stops moving, loves going to her strong hand, her left hand, but you got to really credit Barbara Turner for finding her and getting the ball to her exactly where she can do something with it.
And Turner is replaced by Maria Conlon. Turner has not scored, only has taken 1 shot, but she's already tied her career high with 4 assists. And get this, Megan, 10 UConn field goals, 10 UConn assists.
You just can't ask for more than that. That's something that coaches dream of, that you can have an assist on every field goal. It's usually good if you assist on half of them.
Well, maybe that's the goal, to do it for 40 minutes. Yeah. I don't believe that's ever been done in the history of the game. We're not sure, so. But Battle down low. Jessica Moore is doubled and is fouled. Versaput was on one side, Crispin on the other, and Crispin will pick up her 2nd. And that's 3 on the Broncos.
Yeah, with that foul, just a little too much body contact on Jessica Moore. And Moore is going to command these double teams. And I like what she tried to do here. She tried to get rid of it, because if you're doubled, then obviously somebody else has to be open. And to be a good scorer in the lane like that, it helps to be a really good passer.
Taurasi, this is a 2, and she knocks it down.
Again, moving well without the basketball, squaring up her shoulders beautifully, the sweet release.
13 points on 5 of 6 shooting for the reigning Naismith National Player of the Year. Versaput, who's missing the first letter in the back of her name, by the way. Down low, Crispin, nice catch in traffic.
Now, Western Michigan coming into this game, these kids were scared. Talking to Ron Strew before the game, he said, you know, they're a little nervous, a little scared, and I was joking with them, they wouldn't be human if they weren't.
Great cut by Moore, and Taurasi found it.
You will be rewarded for movement without the basketball, particularly with someone like Diana Taurasi. And, you know, Jessica Moore, you talk about how well she runs the floor, and she will exploit that throughout this season, but she's just doing it in the half-court set and really reaping dividends.
Already has a dozen points. Battle knocks it away and out of bounds. That'll bring us to a timeout. Taurasi and Moore have combined for 25 of UConn's 27 points. And they combined for that too. Taurasi with the assist, Moore with the hoop. Fans around the country can watch the game via the internet. And we're delighted to bring it to you.
Yeah, and in fact, I know a lot of the Western Michigan fans, the parents, are excited to be watching it back home. They wanted to make this trip out here, but they said, hey, and we can check it out on the internet, and it's free today, so even better.
Ashley Battle with the reach-in foul, her first 2 on the team. Broncos inbound in their own forecourt. Ross has yet to score. There's Strother with the steal.
Those long arms.
Counted in the foul.
Tremendous concentration by Ashley Battle. Couple Western Michigan players hanging on, and again, the great long arms there and the steal And Versaput came through and really tried to get the ball, but you see her whack the arm of Ashley Battle. Great concentration to finish it.
First foul on Versaput, 4 on the team. Battle cannot get the free throw to go. UConn leading it 29-10, 9 minutes in on opening day. Strother this time will be called for the reach-in foul. That will be her first and number 3 on UConn. Strother spent part of her summer playing for the United States, as did Barbara Turner. The Pan American Games team won the silver medal. Great opportunity for some international experience.
Yeah, to be able to play USA basketball, not only do you represent your country and go travel all over the world, you play with the best players in this country, and it's a wonderful way to enhance your game.
Good hustle off the offensive glass by Crispin, and she has scored 6 of the Broncos' dozen points. Conlon gives to Strother, and the foul will be called, I believe, on Carrie Moore on a push on the screen. It is. Number 5 on Western Michigan and number 1 on Moore. As we look at Ron Stewart, I was chatting with him the other day, and he said when he told the players that they had a chance to play UConn, at first Western Michigan thought it would be the opening game of their season. He said the kids all smiled. I asked them, "You want to do it?" And they all cheered. They said absolutely. They're really looking forward to play. He was just saying he was hoping they would resist the temptation to ask Diana Taurasi for an autograph before the opening tip. Wait till after the game.
Yeah, and if they're smart, they will get it after the game. It'd be rare to ever see a player like this come along in their lifetime. And part of what makes Taurasi so great is that before the game they're warming up, and she ran over to get some water off the Western Michigan bench, and there's a little kid sitting there, which turned out to be Coach Stewart's son, and she just walked by the kid and said, "Hey, little man, how you doing?" You know, just said hi, and he noticed that.
Well, a sight for sore eyes for UConn fans. Nicole Wolf. There's Ron's son. Nicole Wolf.
Kyle
has checked into the game. Wolf missed the last 28 games last season with a stress fracture after starting the first 10. Foul on Rost will be her second, and that's number 6 on the Broncos.
Now, Wolf didn't play very well in that first exhibition, but then came back in practice and with just a different mindset. And it was 180 degrees different. Didn't do a whole lot in that second exhibition game. Nice pass.
Great cut, better pass.
Taurasi could have taken the shot, but unselfishly dished it to Jessica Moore.
14 points for Moore, assist number 4 for Taurasi. And the Huskies have assisted on all 14 field goals now. Crispin finds Jillian. Left side, Tyson in the lane, deflected by Turner, stolen by Taurasi. Here's Conlon. Turnover number 7 for the Broncos. Kick out Taurasi. Wide open 3.
She knew that was in before it even left her hands. You just can't leave her that open. She got a chance to take a little breath. The trail on the break. And what's been equally impressive to me, Bob, with the offense for the Huskies has been their defense and their defensive intensity.
Foul is called. Moore and Wolf were both there. Now, wait a minute. One official has a travel.
Wait a minute.
What are we going to get? Benita Spence will come together with Margaret Lynch-Gadaleta, and they'll discuss it. Lynch-Gadaleta had a travel. Spence had a foul. And Lynch-Gadaleta will win out. So turnover number 8 on Western Michigan.
I'm sure Ron Stewart is saying the push caused the travel.
And Ron Stewart wants a 20-second timeout.
And he wants an explanation as to how can you make that call. I don't blame him.
This is the 97th consecutive sellout for a UConn home basketball game. 72nd straight here at Gampel. Last time a game was not sold out at Gampel, almost 6 complete calendar years ago, on December 2nd, 1997 against Villanova. And this is the first of 7 games here at Gampel Pavilion this year. 8 regular season games will be played at the Hartford Civic Center. And Megan, for the first time this year, the Big East tournament will be played at the Hartford Civic Center, and so will the East Regionals in the NCAA tournament.
And I know a lot of people in Hartford are just thrilled that the tournament's going to be there. I know Marty Brooks at the Civic Center is psyched that it's going to be there. It's just going to be put on in a first-class fashion. A lot of things to do in the community. Should be a great time.
UConn still without an unassisted field goal. Wolf gives to Conlon. Conlon kicks out to Turner for the jumper. Rebound in traffic to Crispin, and we'll get a rebound foul on UConn. This will be called on Taurasi, her first, and number 4 on UConn. There's Gino Auriemma, who won the Big East Coach of the Year award for the 6th time last season, and Gino and Diana Taurasi are the subject of a terrific feature story in the current issue of Sports Illustrated. Taurasi pictured on the cover along with UConn men's star Emeka Okafor, also a story on Emeka in the issue, but Frank DeFord wrote the story on Gino and Diana. And one former UConn player is quite liberally quoted in the story. I won't say who it is, but she's sitting right next to me.
Yeah, we'll just say, folks, go out and read it yourselves. We don't have to get into it.
Rebound, Morgan Valley, her first, as she enters for the first time this season. Look at the cut by Turner.
Move. How about that move? Feeling 2 defenders on her left side. She spins quickly to the right.
First 2 points for Turner, who was a preseason second-team All-Big East selection in this her sophomore year. Jillian with the hook over Strother. Rebound, Taurasi, her 5th. Looks to run the break, finds Strother on the right. Juggled it. Strother is yet to score. Battles double teamed and has it taken away by Ross.
That's why you got to bounce it out of there. The hands are up in the air. You can't throw it in the air where the hands are. Use that old-fashioned bounce pass. Nice
job by Tyson to lean in to Battle and draw the contact and the foul. Number 2 on Ashley and number 5 on UConn. And to the free throw line will go 5'6" freshman Brittany Tyson, who got the start on opening day against Michigan.
Brittany Tyson will shoot 2.
5'6". You don't see that a lot.
Western Michigan's gone 3 minutes without a point, Meg. And there's another freshman, Ashley Owens, checking in, replacing Kelly Kerber.
Well, you bring that point up, and we talk so much about the field goals and the assists on the field goals, but one thing that UConn doesn't, I don't think, get enough credit for is their outstanding defense.
Indeed, the Huskies a year ago were number 2 in the Big East in scoring defense. Barbara Turner's first field goal of the day, a 23-point lead. Perfect start to the season for defending 2-time national champion UConn, and she may have been the most underrated player in the Big East last season.
Yeah, and Jessica Moore, I mean, she moves so well without the basketball. The recipient of a lot of nice dishes from her teammates. The outstanding look from Taurasi, you know, and Moore not on any preseason teams in the Big East.
Well, that's because she missed a shot already. That's why they took her out of the game. Okay, you know, you got to make your shots. 7 for 8 the first 12.5 minutes. Taurasi guarded by Jillian. Now Battle on the perimeter. Morgan Valley finds Turner. This is a 3. Rebound in the lane, and Strother. Will it be Strother or Battle? It's going to be Ashley Battle, and that's her 3rd and number 6 on the Huskies.
I don't know if that was maybe an over the back call that time. A little too aggressive going for the offensive rebound.
Battle a year ago led UConn in steals with 53. A big reason why she was selected by the Big East coaches as the defensive player of the year in the conference.
Yeah, she's tenacious, always in that defensive stance. Moves her feet, great lateral quickness.
Jillian defended by the much taller Strother. Ross, who's been completely shut down by Taurasi and friends. Tyson with the wild shot. Rebound off Strother's hands to Jillian. Rebound, Turner deflects to herself. Her 2nd rebound of the afternoon. Strother up top, Battle. Great ball movement by UConn. Strother again up top and finds Battle all alone inside.
That happens sometimes in the zone defense. You lose sight of somebody and they're sneaking around behind you. Wide open, Ashley Battle. The back line of Western Michigan had no idea.
Well, we're still waiting for UConn's first unassisted field goal. We don't know whether that person will have their scholarship taken away if they score it. 17 field goals, 17 assisted field goals. Crispin over Turner. Long rebound to Jillian. Dribbles inside, and then we'll get a kick call on the Huskies and a new shot clock for the Broncos. As a look at Casey Roston, what a job Taurasi has done on her.
Well, there's definitely a height disadvantage as well, because Ross only 5'9", but the Huskies always focus on the other team's best scorer, and they've done an outstanding job on Ross here this afternoon.
Ashley Valley, Morgan's younger sister, has checked in for the first time. Ross takes a shot over her, and the rebound pulled down by Morgan Valley, her second of the afternoon. Taurasi with the feed into the post, and a good anticipation move by Crispin to knock it away. Turnover number 5 on UConn. Tyson goes right by Jessica Moore and draws the foul on Moore. Crowd thought it was all ball, number 1 on Moore, and that will be number 7 on Gino Oriema's crew.
Tyson did a pretty good job of using her post player down low.
What's with the coach still on?
This
has to be a record. What are we? Help me with the math here. 14 minutes and 15 seconds into the game, and coach, the tie completely knotted
By
to
the way,
neck.
real men wear pink. Just want to make that point.
And he's got the coat on. We do believe, we're checking here, we think it's a personal record.
Could be. But he's, I'm sure he'll make up some lame excuse or story that it's a new attitude or something this year.
Morgan Valley dribbles right by Crispin. Well, there we go. I don't think we get an assist on that one, do we?
It's pretty amazing. The Huskies, you saw that last graphic, have the same number of field goals made as Western Michigan has attempted.
So there's our first unassisted field goal of the season for UConn, and it took nearly 15 minutes to happen. UConn up 40-14. Jillian on the switch, picked up by Jessica Moore. Shot clock at 5. Jillian again gives to Tyson for 3. Back rims it, rebound to Ross. And Ashley Valley finds Jessica Moore.
And that's what Jessica Moore is so good at, and we'll see that throughout the season against the taller post players. She just beats people up the floor.
16 points each for Taurasi and Moore. Rost, who the other day against Michigan was just 4 for 19 from the floor, 1 for 7 from three-point range, and they turn it over again. Ashley Valley to Strother, puts it on the floor, can't finish.
One thing you notice, boy, timeout here.
20-second timeout, 30 rather.
The interesting thing, UConn defensively has just been so impressive that it really seems that Western Michigan, every time anyone seems to be open for a split second, they rush the shot. That's because everything has been so contested. Every pass, every shot, they got to work for absolutely everything.
Broncos haven't scored a field goal in more than 6 minutes.
You see Taurasi rip down the rebound, immediately off to the races. I mean, when you can get the ball up the floor with 3 passes and not 1 dribble, that's pretty impressive.
UConn 21-8 in its history on opening day, and the Huskies have won their last 7 openers. That's a streak which dates back to November 19th, 1995, when in their very first game after winning their first national championship, they lost on opening day to a very good Louisiana Tech team in the opener of a doubleheader at Knoxville, Tennessee. It was an overtime game, if I recall.
Yes, it was.
Down low, Owens counted in the foul.
Nice tough move inside by Owens. Got bumped a little bit with the body, and will get herself to the line for 1 shot, the old-fashioned 3-point play.
First foul on Morgan Valley as we take another look.
And Morgan, sort of incredulously looked at the official. Could have been the left hand pushing on the body.
Off the missed free throw, Jessica Moore pulls down her first rebound of the day. It's because she hasn't missed any shots. There haven't been any offensive opportunities. Ashley Valley, I think we might have another unassisted field goal there. This is a
Leave
trend.
it to the Valley sisters.
This is a trend. First 2 points of the season for Ashley Valley. So 18 assists and 20 field goals for the Huskies. Here's a set shot for 3. No good by Versaput. Taurasi with her 7th rebound of the day. Finds Strother for an open 3. And Morgan Valley deflects the rebound out to her younger sister.
I thought it was interesting. Taurasi could have shot that ball. Instead, unselfishly gave it up to Strother in the other corner.
Deflected out of bounds off Western Michigan. 22 to shoot for the Huskies when we return following a timeout. 44-16. Back at Storrs, where UConn is leading Western Michigan 44-16 on opening day. 3:16 remaining in the first half. When it comes to opening day, UConn at home is 24-5 and has won its last 12 openers. First time, Megan, the Huskies have ever begun the season with 4 straight home games.
It's always nice to get yourself acclimated a little bit at home. Things will always go a little bit more smoothly when you're at home in your routine.
Now the shot clock is down to 12. The cutter is Jessica Moore. She's doubled. Turner finds Ashley Valley for 3. Rebound inside to Crispin, her 4th.
Western Michigan doing a pretty good job the latter part of this first half, getting a lot of black jerseys on the inside to rebound the ball.
Jillian penetrates, and then her pass is deflected out of bounds by UConn. 15 seconds to shoot for the Broncos. And Jillian will inbound baseline. She has yet to score. She had a rough opening day from a shooting standpoint. 1 for 9 against Michigan. Did have 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Versaput. Shot clock down to 5. Owens down low over Turner. Rebound inside Nicole Wolf. Gives to Ashley Valley. Penetrates. Is bumped by Ashley Owens. And will get to the free throw. Are they going to call it a shooting foul or not?
1-1.
1-1. Not a shooting foul, but she will get to the line.
UConn in the bonus, having committed 7 fouls.
Well, Meg, I don't have my schedule in front of me. Who does UConn play next?
Florida State.
You know who they're playing today?
Who?
They're playing Savannah State. You want to know what the score is at the half?
What?
54-3, Florida State at the half, unless that's a misprint.
Yikes.
54-3.
Makes 46-16 not look that bad.
Wow. Tuesday night, Hartford Civic Center, 7 o'clock here on CPTV or via the internet on cptv.org.
As my 5-year-old nephew would say, that is a shellacking.
There's Casey Ross getting on the scoreboard for her first 2 of the afternoon. Second leading scorer in the Mid-American Conference a year ago. Has a twin brother who's 6'8", by the way, who is a forward for the Western Michigan men's basketball team. His name is Levi Rost. Ron Stewart was telling me this week that he feels that Levi's presence on the campus has been a huge plus for Casey. Has relaxed her and has helped make her a much better player. She and her brother are very close, as most twins are. Jessica Moore with the turnaround. She's got 18.
And that's something we're going to see a lot more this year from Jessica Moore, getting the ball at the high post, 15, 16 feet from the basket, and being confident enough to knock it down. 9 of 10 from the floor for Moore, the junior from Palmer, Alaska. Left side jumper by Versaput, no good. Rebound Jessica Moore, and here comes Ashley Valley. Nice no-look feed inside Strother, her first 2 of the season. Pretty amazing. That's her first bucket here in the afternoon. Only taken 3 shots, does have a rebound and 3 assists. Versaput wide open. This is a 3. Nails it. Nice sweet stroke by Versaput that time, wide open. Nice extension, great rotation. Her first points of the afternoon. UConn 50, Western Michigan 21 inside the final minute. Turner is doubled, now gives to Ashley Valley. Down low, Jessica Moore. She's doubled. Knocked away, gets it back. Strother, shot clock at 8. Strother throws it up. It's a 3. You know, not many players can do it and make it look so easy to take that little dribble step back to make sure that she's behind the three-point line and drain it. Strother already 8th in UConn history in career three-point percentage. Wolf got a piece of that Ross shot, and now the shot clock is off with 19 seconds left in the half. Up top, Ashley Valley. UConn playing for 1 against this 2-3 zone. Jessica Moore, foul line jumper. Only her second miss of the day. Rebound Ross, and Jillian from half court at the buzzer.
So UConn jumps on top early and increases the lead to 32 points at halftime. 18 for Jessica Moore, 16 for Diana Taurasi, 53-21 UConn at the half. Numbers, the Huskies shooting the lights out. 70% out rebounding Western Michigan 20-11, and UConn with a phenomenal 30 points in the paint, outscoring the Broncos 30-6. Must be that great coaching for the inside players. Associate head coach Chris Daly standing by with Megan Pattison. Meg?
Bob, absolutely right. I know Chris will agree with you that it is the great coaching that has made the biggest impact on the inside. I mean, first of all, Jessica Moore, unbelievable first half.
She really has. You know, she's improved so much, and she's scoring in a variety of ways, and that's a pleasure to see. She's knocking down jump shots. She's going to make threes this year, so we're hoping to add that maybe in the second half.
Well, you talk about scoring, but someone who didn't score but played well, from your perspective, you say, is Ann Struther.
Well, you know, I made a comment to Jess on the bench, and I said, Ann Struther, watching her play that first half into the last 3 minutes when she did score, is just a story about how you can have an effect on the game without making a bucket. And I thought she played great on both ends, passed the ball well, rebounded, and played good defense.
All right, good luck the second half. Thanks, CD.
Oh, back to you, Bob.
Well, now we really feel like the season is underway with that trademark toss back from the associate head coach. As we look in the huddle, Gino Auriemma, now it looks like he's got the coat off. He's warmed up. Maybe you saw that Florida State halftime score. For those of you just joining us, Florida State, UConn's next opponent, leads Savannah State 54-3 at halftime. As we looked at the individual scoring totals for UConn and some of the 10,027 on hand, Casey Rost held in the first half to just 2 points and only had 5 shots. UConn ball to begin the second half, and Turner hits the runner.
Well, you know, defensively, Bob, the perspective UConn has always taken that we're going to make someone other than your best player beat us, and they did a tremendous job in that first half of taking Ross out of the flow of things offensively.
Jillian gets a screen, defended by Conlon. Now Ross, guarded by Taurasi, tried to feed in the lane. It's knocked away. Turnover number 10 for the Broncos. Taurasi feeds Conlon right side. She knocks down the 3.
Conlon loves that right corner.
Her first shot of the season. You're batting 1,000.
Well, you know, CD was talking about the impact that Strother had in the first half and without shooting the ball, and Conlon the same thing. That's her first shot, but you can find ways to be effective without putting the ball in the hoop.
Jillian for 3, no good. Rebound batted around. Crispin controls, then shoots over Turner, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by UConn with 28 to shoot. Maybe the best number to tell Maria Conlon's contributions to the national championship season, Megan. Tennessee NCAA finals, 39 minutes, 0 turnovers.
Right, and this is a kid who many people said would never impact the game here at Connecticut, and she has done it and then some.
Turnover number 11 on the Broncos as we look at Conlon, the pride and joy of the lower Naugatuck Valley. Lives in Derby, Connecticut, played her high school ball at Seymour High. All they did is win 64 straight games during her high school career.
She's a legend in the Valley.
Down low, Jessica Moore, kick out Turner, Taurasi for 3.
It's sort of hard to understand why Diana Taurasi could be left that wide open at the top of the key.
5 of 6 from 3-point range for Taurasi, who has scored 19 points. Left side jumper for 3 is knocked down by Carrie Moore.
And there's a difference. Tough shot by Moore, rather right in her face. UConn gets a lot more uncontested shots than the Broncos.
Down low, Jessica Moore throws it over the head of Conlon in our direction. Western Michigan is now playing that 2-3 zone, and Ron Stewart was telling me last year we were in foul trouble halftime against Purdue. We had to go zone to try to protect our players. We played pretty well. I think we stumbled into something, and that's become their trademark, the 2-3 zone.
But the only problem you may run into in a 2-3 zone is if another team is shooting the ball well, which the Huskies have been. Why there are wide open spots in the 2-3 zone if you don't play it well.
Jillian on the perimeter. Shot clock down to 8. Crispin with the wild shot, but first she'll be called for the travel.
Yeah, Crispin lacking a little bit of the range. She was open from about 15 feet. Tried to dribble in to get herself closer in a more comfortable position and dribbled into some trouble.
Caught a glimpse of Ron Stewart, who was an assistant men's coach for Lon Kruger at Florida for 6 years, and before that at Kansas State, before taking his first head coaching job and coaching women's basketball.
Yeah, I asked him which he liked better, and he said, you know, basketball is basketball, but he said his quality of life is much better coaching the women. He's got his wife and his 2 sons with him. We saw his one son, Kyle, on the bench, the manager.
Schrather can't convert on the break. Rebound pulled down by Crispin, her 6th of the afternoon. While at Florida, as an assistant, Ron Stewart, the Gators went to the Final Four in 1994. Blocking foul will be called on the Huskies.
Yeah, Taurasi came out that time. There he is, Ron Stewart. That foul on Taurasi, she came out. Now, she could have stood there and tried to take a charge. It might have worked, but her hands were up in the air and came over and crossed that plane. And when you do that and initiate the contact, you're going to get called with the foul.
Carrie Moore, 5'9" freshman from Detroit Country Day School, lives in Lathrop Village, Michigan. She was an honorable mention All-American, selected by Street and Smith magazine last year as a high school senior.
And that's the key. Last year she was a senior, you know, playing in the district finals, and now, you know, today for long stretches she was guarding Diana Taurasi, you know, the best player in the country. Quite a jump.
Yeah, her high school team, Carrie Moore's team, won 26-1 and won the Michigan Class B state championship. Last touch by Jessica Moore. That's turnover number 7 for UConn. We've played 3:20 second half, and the Huskies lead it 61-25. Next up for UConn, Florida State, Tuesday night at the Hartford Civic Center. Megan and I will have all of the action at 7 o'clock here on Connecticut Public Television. Baseline drive, Ross can't get it to fall, but she will draw the foul on Jessica Moore.
Jessica Moore clearly did not agree with that call.
Number 2 on her.
I think she whacked her in the hand or the arm.
Ross is a sensational free throw shooter, 90.3% a year ago. Led the Mid-American Conference in that category. For her career, 86.5%, the best in Western Michigan history.
That's just concentration, mental toughness at the line.
4 points for Ross. 2-3 Broncos zone. Jessica Moore up top, gives to Conlon for her second 3. 2 for 2.
Nice decision that time. You know, earlier in the game, Conlon would have passed that ball. But, you know, sometimes you're getting yourself into a little rhythm. You knock down the one before. You feel good. She's got a sweet stroke.
Ross inside. Last touch by Crispin. Ball a little bit too low to handle. Turnover number 14 for the Broncos. And we have our first time out of the second half. A year ago, Conlon had 54 3-point field goals and only 32 2-point field goals. Hey, look at that, 27 points per game last year. And Sherwood just begun practicing last week, Meg, after recovering from arthroscopic knee surgery on October 15th. And she's almost ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's a problem. It dated back to high school, and she kind of tweaked it in the beginning of October. And they said, you know what, let's just take care of it now, get it done with. She'll be back in 6-7 weeks. And she's been running the last couple days, and there's a pretty good chance that she'll play Tuesday.
Nice look inside to Turner. She's got 6. Kiana Robinson out of the lineup today with a hamstring. She could also be back on Tuesday. She did not play in the second exhibition game against the NWBL All-Stars.
You know, hamstrings, those muscle pulls, are a difficult injury, especially for the younger kids, because, you know, in high school, you never get hurt, and certainly anything like this, because she's never have they worked this hard. And you know, the defensive stance drills and all the stuff you have to do when you get to college at this level, their bodies have never gone anything through it. So take a little extra time, make sure it gets healed.
Conlon up top to Moore. Strother was the foot behind the line. Doesn't matter, she didn't make it. Rebound to Carrie Moore, her first. And here's Jillian. Jillian made the MAC All-Freshman team 2 years ago and was the conference's Defensive Player of the Year as a sophomore. Ross to Crispin. Rebound inside, and we will get a foul called. And it looks like it will be on Jessica Moore.
Well, you know, that time Moore got out-positioned inside. There was a black jersey here in inside position. I couldn't even see who it was, but then Moore came over her back and committed the foul to get that rebound.
Her third 3 on the team. Broncos turn it over. And Jessica Moore has trouble handling the pass. Kick out Strather.
I think it surprised her too.
Conlon to Strather on the left. Baseline Turner. Inside Taurasi.
Again, an outstanding pass from Barbara Turner, but Taurasi, you see her sneaking in there along the weak side on the baseline, and Turner did a good job in finding her.
Turner with a career high 7 assists. Taurasi with 21 points. 20 for the 26th time in her career she has scored 20 or more. Long pass to Strather, who thinks that Carrie Moore deflected it. So does the crowd think, but Margaret Lynch got elated. Did not think so. That's all that matters.
He's got a sense of humor today, right?
So got the tie out. Got rid of the coat, but the knot tied knotted all the way up top.
He's trying to keep himself together today. Now looks so frazzled.
Left side, Kim Driggett is checked into the lineup for the Broncos, who turn it over for the 15th time. On the break, Taurasi right down the middle.
Good recognition by Taurasi in that none of the Western Michigan defenders had any great interest in stopping her with the basketball.
Taurasi has nearly outscored the Broncos. He's got 23. Western Michigan has 27. UConn has 70. Up top, Versaput. Defended by Battle. Pass into the post and a foul from behind on Morgan Valley, her second, and number 4 this half on the Huskies.
Well, you know, the expression defense is played with your feet is said for a reason. Valley tried to reach through. You got to get your feet around on the high side of the offensive post player and then swat that ball away. You do it from behind, you'll get called for a foul every time.
Ashley Battle with a steal. Western Michigan gets back quickly defensively. Turner on the left, Taurasi down low, Strather counted in the foul.
Strather worked so hard in the offseason on not only her conditioning, but weightlifting, much stronger this year. And a play like that is evidence that she can get bumped, especially in the upper body like she did. Nice ball movement, the great pass away from the defense there. She gets bumped pretty hard from behind, but the ball still went in.
Strather, great free throw shooter, 81.3% from the line a year ago. Only got there 64 times. Nicole Wolf replacing Barbara Turner, who leaves with 6 points and a career high 7 assists.
I think the coach would love Strather to get to the free throw line more. That'll prove she's being more aggressive offensively, going to the basket, getting fouled.
Well, her most memorable basket of the season was when she took it to the hole at crunch time against Tennessee in the regular season.
Yeah, at the Harvard Civic Center, a little behind the back dribble. Yep. Unbelievable play.
Rebound weak side Driggett. Rebound inside Ross. Taurasi will be called for her third foul, and that's number 5 on UConn in the second half.
Well, no, from a coaching perspective, you're almost glad they called that foul on Taurasi because all the white jerseys were standing around just watching instead of turning, getting a body on a black jersey and pushing it back and boxing out.
Well, we have a final now from Florida State. Savannah State did much, much better in the second half, Meg. They scored 25 points in the second half, but Florida State scored 53. Final 107-28. Florida State beats Savannah State, and the Seminoles will be at the Hartford Civic Center on Tuesday night to play UConn. Wow.
Wow. Say great defense for the Seminoles, huh?
Down low, Battle gives to the cutter. Nice. Morgan Valley to the cutter, Strather.
Outstanding offense.
10 points for Strather, who's in double figures for the 23rd time in her young career. Ross misses the 3. Long rebound controlled by Driggett to her teammate Tyson. Versaput. Versaput again on the wing. Cross-court dangerous pass to Driggett. Tyson, ball fake. Inside, Strather got a hand up. Shot clock inside 10. Driggett drives. And what do we have?
Sure, it'll be a block.
On Ashley Battle, perhaps? Nope. They're going to call it on Strother. Her second and 6 on the Huskies.
You can clearly see Western Michigan getting a little bit frustrated. They're dribbling the ball around, not passing it as much as they used to, trying to go more one-on-one. Clear sign of frustration.
Ron Stewart took his club to the NCAA tournament last year. He is seeing close up the #1 team in the country. Valley to Strother for 2. And all UConn on opening day at Gamble Pavilion.
And
2 injured freshmen. There's Wilnette Crockett, who is not nearly as close to returning to action, Meg. And we were chatting with Will before the game today.
yeah, she said, you know, hopefully she's going to start running tomorrow anyway, and hopefully she'll get back, you know, in a week or 2. She had such a bad sprain of that ankle. All the players said they have never seen anything that swollen. I think Gino referred to it as a pot roast.
Wolf's look-ahead pass is stolen by Tyson. Turnover number 9 for the Huskies. And here's a steal by Ashley Valley. One-on-one with Ross. What's she going to do? Does a good job of drawing the foul, but paid the price physically as she went down hard.
I tell you, there is nobody who falls as hard or as often as Ashley Valley. She got bumped pretty good that time by Ross, but nice anticipation out. Tyson didn't even see Valley stepping in there. And just the way Ross hit her.
Little hip check.
Yeah. Knocked her down pretty hard.
5 points for Valley. 3rd foul on Ross, by the way. 2 on the Broncos this half. Ashley Valley played on 3 state championship teams at Rice Memorial High School in Colchester, Vermont, just north of Burlington. Her sister Morgan was a teammate on 2 of those 3, 2 undefeated state championship teams.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize Ashley Valley tore her ACL her senior year.
Still was selected as a Nike All-American. Huskies turn it over for the 10th time as Driggett comes away with the steal.
In fact, Ashley Valley, her left cheek has got a little red mark from the last fall she took. I saw her hit her cheek on the floor.
Ross, defended by Taurasi, has done a terrific job on her. On the right, Versaput for 3. Rebound Ashley Valley. Now, how did they get the V and Versaput back on that uniform? Remember, it was missing an act. It was AWOL earlier in the game.
Nice work at halftime. Some quick stitching.
Nicole Wolf has it taken away momentarily by Tyson and then can't get the pull-up jumper to go. Knocked out of bounds by Morgan Valley. There's a look at Kate, not Ursaput, Versaput. 6'1" sophomore from Mason, Michigan. Had 4 points in an opening day loss at the University of Michigan. Strange game. Broncos led 20-3 early, wound up losing by 13. Michigan coached by Cheryl Burnett this year for the first time. She was Jackie Stiles' coach at Southwest Missouri State. Of course, they went to the Final Four in Stiles' senior year. Tyson with a runner. Rebound pulled down by Taurasi.
One-handed, I might add.
Oh, Ashley Valley just cost Taurasi an assist.
That would be Roger Rim blocking another shot.
Think she'll hear about that from her teammate? Doesn't want to hear about it right now.
Trust me, she'll torment herself in her own head after that one.
Taurasi, 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists.
You know, she didn't even want to lift up her head and look at Taurasi. Those are one of those plays where you just want to forget it even happened.
Tyson, defended by the much taller Wolf. One touch pass by Versaput, but didn't find its intended target. Here's Taurasi. Spins. Great look inside to Wolf.
She knew she wanted to get it there. Got caught up on her hip for a second. But she found a way to get it to the open Wolf.
Taurasi now with 6 assists this afternoon. She is 6th in UConn history in assists. Needs 48 to move ahead of another one of your teammates, Laura Lishkus, into 5th place on the all-time UConn list.
You know, people were talking about Taurasi the other night, how she almost had a triple-double in that exhibition game. You know, Laura Lishkus is the only one who's ever had one.
Ashley Battle makes it a 16-0 UConn run. There have been some, needless to say, just a few great players who have passed through here. Not sure anyone was ever more athletic than your teammate Laura Lishman.
No, and unfortunately, that was at a time when not enough people followed the team, and then people have, of course, heard about Carrie Bascom, but Lish has sort of been lost over the years, and she was one of the best.
Wolf loses the ball momentarily, gets it right back, and gives to Taurasi with 8 minutes to go, and UConn leading 80-28. Fourth time that UConn has played a team from the Mid-American Conference. Huskies 2-1 against the MAC. They beat Toledo, and they're only meeting with them, and split a pair with Ball State. Beat Ball State here last year. Taurasi.
Oh! Are you kidding? Come on, folks, clap. This is the best of all time. You're going to sit there on your hands. My goodness, after a play like that.
25 points for the Big East Player of the Year.
And the nifty dish from Ashley Battle, and that's just spin. She was right underneath the hoop. She started on the left side.
Well, Taurasi with a chance to go to the Final Four for a 4th straight year. Starting out with a bang with 26 points and 8 rebounds and 7 assists.
Makes people better, and she just enjoys every second of being on the floor, and that's what playing the game is all about.
Stacey Marin has made her first appearance of the season for the Huskies. Marin, the first ever UConn walk-on to be awarded a scholarship, as Jillian banks in a 3 from the left side and is trying very hard not to smile.
And thankfully the crowd is not cheering for Marin to shoot the ball. And you know, Oriema made a plea to the fans in the press conference after Tuesday night's exhibition, saying, hey folks, listen, she's a scholarship player. Don't treat her like a charity case and cheer her name every time she enters the game, because that's an embarrassment to her. She's too good of a player.
Foul was called on Ashley Owens. That's her 4th. And Western Michigan now with 14 fouls this half. Marin a year ago, 10 of 17 from 3-point range. Morgan Valley to Wolf. Rebound in the lane to Ashley Owens. Tyson. Out to Driggett. Tyson directs the traffic and finds Jillian on the left for another 3. Long rebound to Wolf, who was the McDonald's National Player of the Year her senior year in high school, who plays like that.
Well, the lefty going to her strong hand did a nice job of averting a couple of the defenders coming her way. Good handle up the floor to get an easy 2.
4 points for Wolf. Left side, there we see the touch by Kim Driggett, junior from Burton, Michigan, with her first 3 of the afternoon.
By Kim Driggett.
Conlon defended by Jillian. 6:12 to go. UConn 85, Western Michigan 34. Marin for 3. Rebound in the lane to Battle. Fresh 30 on the shot clock.
Lucky Battle didn't get called for, if she would have made contact with that left arm swinging out of the lane.
Little pirouette move by Battle off the feed from Morgan Valley. Battle with a dozen points. It's her 22nd career double-figure scoring performance.
Huskies in a little zone defense here. A little more active than we've seen Western Michigan's earlier in the game.
Chrisman. Rebound off Battle's hands, then last touch by Jillian. Western Michigan will return home to host Missouri, Kansas City in the Broncos home opener on Wednesday, and the Broncos conference opener in the Mid-American Conference will be January 7th at home against Northern Illinois. Strother to Battle. Kick out to Marin. Conlon leaves for Wolf.
I've been really impressed with the ball movement early. You know, sometimes it takes a little bit of the season to get yourselves into a flow offensively. The Huskies look like they've been playing for a couple months.
Well, they're shooting 69% from the floor. There's a right side 3 by Rost, who is 3rd at Western Michigan in career 3-point field goals. Her first of the day. Off to a rough start this year from 3-point range. Only 2 of 14. Left side Conlon, she's 2 for 2 from 3-point range. Rebound Crispin, her 7th. Jillian to Carrie Moore. Ashley Battle goes up for her 3rd rebound of the afternoon. Inside the 5-minute mark, Conlon, tough catch in traffic by Wolf. Missed the shot. Rebound last touched by the Huskies as Ashley Valley returns.
Nicole Wolf wants that shot back, no doubt.
You know, having Wolf back, Megan, is kind of like having a new player, kind of like having a 3rd freshman, because we mentioned she missed the last 28 games last year, and we're talking about one of the best high school players in the country 2 years ago.
Absolutely. And then, you know, she only played 10 games last season with, it was first one stress fracture, then they found another stress fracture in her foot. So, but unfortunately, she couldn't redshirt last season and give her another year like Ashley Battle and Jessica Moore have so benefited from.
Ashley Valley, lead pass, tough catch, Ashley Battle. Can't get it to go, but she'll draw the foul.
How about that catch?
Western Michigan without the services not only today but also this year of Kristen Kutsier, who played for Ron Stewart and was a 3-time first-team All-Mid-American Conference choice. She's not going to play this year because she really suffers from a chronic knee injury and her doctor advised her not to play. But this is a young lady, Megan, who survived a life-threatening blood disorder, came back and played such good basketball. She was a honorable mention All-American, and for her courage and effort, she was awarded the Foundation Comeback Player of the Year Award in 2002 and also the Honda Inspiration Award. So they miss her a lot.
They do, and her jersey is hanging up down in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in Knoxville.
Foul on Ashley Battle as Moore will go to the line, and Ron Stewart was telling me just what an unbelievable inspiration that Kutsier was to all of her teammates. And again, the reason she's fine, the reason she's not playing this year has nothing to do with the blood disorder. It's because her knee injury has just been chronic, and she's re-injured it so often. The doctor actually told her in August, you need to shut it down for 2 months to have any chance of coming back, and she decided she had enough. But she was a 3-time first-team all-conference performer and a very inspirational young lady to not only the Broncos but everybody. Timeout, 3:37 remaining on opening day. Diana Taurasi, 26 points, and UConn in a laugher. Won 76 of its last 77 games, off to a 52-point lead on opening day. Well, UConn shooting has been anything but wild. It's been very accurate today. There you see what they've done, and that's the best ever at the bottom of your screen against St. John's back in February of 2001. We'll get a held ball and possession arrow aiming toward the Broncos. Gino Auriemma's club has won a remarkable 125 of its last 129 games. They, of course, won 70 in a row before losing to Villanova in the Big East Championship game last March. And then they followed that up by winning 6 straight to win a national championship for the 4th time in 9 years. Tyson with the right side jumper.
And the run last year, Bob, the only word to really describe it is just improbable. Nobody expected them, I think, least of all themselves.
Marin missing the shot. Ashley Valley tried to save and instead gets a timeout called. And we're going to step aside with 2:54 to go, and UConn up by an even 50. Recruiting season, and it has landed these 3 high school players.
Sharday Houston, perhaps the most prolific scorer coming out of high school this year, made things a little bit interesting for the Huskies when she was going to announce it in the beginning of the signing period, and then she put off the press conference till closer to the end of the signing period, which was this past Wednesday, but made that man very happy, along with the signing of Keisha Soignier and Mel Thomas. Oh, sorry, Gino, are we keeping you awake here?
Only got 2:50 to go, Gino. Hang in there. Marin, left side 3. And the rebound pulled down by Rost. Her 3rd. Tyson, left side to Moore. A year ago, Western Michigan won 20-12, 10-6, 3rd place in the MAC West Division. Then they won the MAC tournament in the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Rebound Marin gives to Ashley Valley as we approach the 2-minute mark. UConn has won 151 and has lost 3 here at Gamble Pavilion in the last 10 years. 2 of the losses to Tennessee and 1 to Georgia. Huskies stepped over the end line. That's their 12th turnover. And Meg, the last time UConn lost a home game, whether here at Gamble or at the Civic Center, was to Tennessee on February 2nd, 2000. Recall Tamika Williams missing that shot right near the end of the game.
Yeah, that was also the game that gave the nickname
Jillian for 3
to oh, of course I'm blanking on her name. Remember, she hit Svetlana in that game. Are you with me that you can't remember her name either?
I can't also. She hit the shot at the other end early in the last possession and winning.
You can see her, and I know there are people at home. I wish you could tell. Randall. Thank you. A little teamwork there. They called her Boo, the fans here, every time.
Well, it's better than what Red Sox fans call Bucky County. You know? Inside, it's Morgan Valley who lays it up and in.
And Morgan Valley is happy, has a slew of people. She has about 20 people visiting her here today. Her parents and their friends. She's got a couple friends who play at Dartmouth who had the day off. Her old AAU teammates.
Pass inside, stolen by Ashley Valley as we approach the 1-minute mark. To Wolf on the left, can't finish. Rebound in traffic is pulled down by Carrie Moore. And Ron Stewart wants a timeout just for the sole purpose of making a substitution. And in fact,
Western Michigan.
He saw him make the motion as if he was making a traveling call. Coaches do have the option of calling a timeout, but asking that the game continue right away. When you want to do something like this, he only stopped the clock because he wanted to get in one last player, and that would be freshman Nicole Watkins of Cheshire, Ohio, so she can say she had a chance to play against defending national champions in their opener for a packed Gamble Pavilion.
This Western Michigan team is where the University of Connecticut was about 15 years ago.
Well, Nicole Watkins made the most of her first appearance here at Gamble Pavilion, didn't she? Hits the shot, and now Ron Stewart calls another timeout for that very same purpose, to get in 2 other players. Jen Doyle, a sophomore from Naperville, Illinois, and Ashley Solmos, a sophomore from Glen Arbor, Michigan. And nice gesture on the UConn fans, who give Casey Rost an ovation as she leaves. Didn't play particularly well, but UConn fans are very well aware of what a great player she is.
Absolutely.
She had a tough day today. And Stacey Marin hits the left side 3 for her first points of the year.
Could be the biggest ovation of the day, and that's a situation where the crowd should cheer for Stacey Marin, not before the shot, after.
Pass inside taken by Battle, and that'll do it. Shot clock off, and Ashley Valley will just keep the ball on her hip. So UConn, which won its 4th national championship in 9 years, last April, getting 26 points from Diana Taurasi on opening day, and beginning defense of that title with a 95-46 win over Western Michigan. Career win number 502 for Gino Auriemma, whose career one-loss percentage of 83.5 is the best in women's basketball history.